Hey, noble ones, thank you so much for stopping by and thank you for clicking. So, I would like to take a moment of your time today to talk a little bit about the future of this channel, the sort of content that I've been releasing, and the sort of evolution and changes that this channel has gone through over the years, where we are at now. As content creators, we always have to try and react to the algorithm and all the things that we have to deal with when it comes to remaining on the surface, And of course, at one point, like from my perspective, this has always been a channel where I kind of spoke about what I liked, and I'll get back to this in a second. I've always tried to figure out ways to stay successful. That's what everyone does. Of course, everyone wants to be successful. And people might point the finger and say, you're greedy, but who's going to do this without being like, no, I really want 10 views. I don't want the views. I'm just doing it, spending like my entire week, my entire month, every day on this, but I don't want the views. Everyone wants the views. Everyone wants success. It's absolutely normal to want success on any endeavor that you are undertaking, whether it be on social media or not at that point. For me, like I was doing history, a lot of history. In fact, I was focusing on history. Back in the day, I used to do languages too, but then languages, I'm like, they're not really working here. So I stopped doing languages on this channel. I focused on history. Then history people were not getting notifications. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to try and do some reacts to big names. So I reacted to Lex Fridman. I reacted to Joe Rogan, Wired, and this actually worked. People were loving it. So I went back up with that and started doing reacts. But then people were like, all you do is reacts now. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. So I started mixing. I started posting regular original content and reacts, but people weren't getting the regular original content, and so they kept telling me all you do is reacts, because that was the only thing that was showing on their feed. But I was thinking, you know what, I'm doing like 5 non-reacts and 2 reacts a week because I was posting daily, and people are not seeing them. So not only I'm putting in the effort to do the original content and just do the occasional react to compensate the views, but I'm also getting people telling me, accusing me of not doing the original content that I am doing. And since it was mostly history, that took a lot of effort to maintain it well researched and well edited with all the b-rolls and whatnot. Then I switched back to like, okay, you know what, I'll drop the reacts altogether. I'll just do original content, and the views completely smoked. Then I snapped because of Charlie Kirk's assassination, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to return this channel to its original core, because this channel has always been an eclectic channel. This has always been a channel that was a representation, a manifestation, and in fact expression of my mind. It's my own stream of consciousness on this channel since its very beginning and early days, not since 2 years ago, since 12 years ago. I've talked about games. I've talked about weapons and armor. I talked about history. I talked about languages. I read literature. I did mythology. I spoke about politics, although used to be only tethered with history. I lifted that one. I did debunking series. I did movie trailers. I did so many different things, and that's because that's how I like the channel. I love the channel to be free, a free expression of what I'm interested in. I know it's going to be a wild ride that way, but then again, if you are here because you enjoy hearing my opinion and positions on these things, I hope that you'll be okay if sometimes I'll decide to talk about a topic that you specifically at an individual level, you're not particularly interested in, but still I hope you would choose to support the channel. The problem is that I feel the one thing I did, particularly in the last few years, has been to allow myself to be put in a box. I put myself in a box of I'm the history guy. Why? Because of all the other types of content that I was doing, history was the one that was showing more solid success, apart from the political stuff. But then the political stuff, people kept insulting me and calling me a grifter. So at one point I was like, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't talk about these things. And so I tried to focus on history, and I put myself in a box. And that was wrong, because I allowed people to control me. Not anymore. Since the assassination of Charlie Kirk, something snapped with me. I was close to snapping, I'll be honest with you, because even when I tried to minimize political commentary, even when I tried to focus on my own historical thing, talking about Romans, even when I was doing that, people, particularly on the radical left, kept insulting me, kept attacking me. And specifically, in fact, last year, which has been the least political of all of my years on YouTube, the exception being maybe the very beginning, inception of the channel, has been the year where I've received most hit pieces against me, specific slanderous pieces, defamation videos created by the radical left, because they hate me. They hate me no matter what I do. So I was already close to, they hate me anyways, I might as well just speak my mind freely, but I was still a little resistant. And then it happened. Charlie Kirk was killed, and I understood by looking at all of these people, I realized at that point that all of that effort, not only it net Nothing. People still hated me. Reddit is still full of people who wish me dead. I realized that the same way those people that I allowed to have a say onto what I do on this channel, my own channel that I created out of thin air with 12 years of work, the very same people that were laughing at Charlie Kirk's death and celebrating it would do the same with me, regardless of the sort of content modifications that I do. So at that point, I snapped. Particularly because of the clip, not only the clip of the assassination of Charlie proper, that was terrible, but also the clips of all the people laughing, and in combination with the clip that he recorded on a separate day on studio with his little girl running towards him and hugging him. That really put me in a position where I decided, not anymore. I don't care. I don't care anymore. I don't. I'll just talk about whatever I want, whenever I want. I lift all restrictions. This channel will be a complete freedom channel. Today, I'll talk about content creation on YouTube and analytics. Tomorrow, I'll talk about history. The day after, I'll talk about politics. The day after that, if I feel like playing the piano, like I did a few times, I'll play the freaking piano. And then if I want to speak about political matters, as I am right now due to the recent event with Charlie Kirk, then I will. And of course, I do respect you, not the people that call me a grifter. I don't care about them. They hate me anyways. But I do care about those among you that are like, when I subscribed, I actually liked your language content and you're not doing it anymore. Or I loved when you were doing gaming and you're not doing it anymore. Or I loved it when you did history and now you're doing politics, and maybe some of you do appreciate the politics as you tell me in the comments, but you also miss the historical content. And that's why, as a solution, I created dedicated channels, dedicated specialized channels. The most recent addition to my channels is Metatron History. We're almost at 5,000 subscribers. I post twice a week, and this channel will only have history, nothing else. So if you're watching my videos here and you're like, oh yeah, this is really good, I like the content, but man, I wish I could watch a history. Today I was in the mood for one of your history videos, and unfortunately instead today you decided to talk about something else. I don't even know, immigration. Then check this channel out. Check this channel out and you'll only find history. And when I say history, I mean not only original content that will only be posted on this channel, but also re-edited versions of older videos that now I'm going to touch up, improve on, and repost on this channel. Now, does the existence of this Metatron History mean that I will never talk about history on Metatron Main? No, I will. But on Metatron Main, it's still going to be complete stream of consciousness. So when that's going to happen? No idea. So this is going to be a good way for you to just get your history, pure history content from me, if that's what you prefer. We then have the successful Metatrons Academy.
Hello,
I have 137,000 subscribers, 300 plus videos only about languages. So if you like my language content, this is where you can find it. All of these will be linked in the description, by the way. And I do post a lot on this channel. I used to post daily. Lately, I haven't been able to maintain the daily upload, but I do upload multiple times a week, and I will try to get back to daily. Also,
hello, noble ones, and welcome.
Protectorate of 15,000 subscribers, all about geeking out, video games, all that kind of stuff, old tech, retro gaming, playthroughs, trailer reactions. It's a great channel, all for video games. And so if that's what you want, here is the channel for you.
Welcome to D&D.
And then we also have Metatron Clips if you enjoy clipped content. All in all, apart from all of these discussions and my calls to freedom and saying it's my channel, so I should be allowed to express my mind freely and all of this, which I think most of you will understand my point of view, and you can still have your own opinion, of course, and say, hey, you're free to speak about whatever you want, but I'm just going to skip these next 3 uploads and I'll just watch the 4th one because I'm not interested in these 3, and that's totally fair. At the end of the day, I do want to thank you anyways for all of you who have stuck around and just continue to support my content. I've seen people saying, hey, usually I prefer your historical content, but I'm just here for you. I appreciate hearing you talk about these things. And then they were polite in suggesting I would still love for you to cover like whatever it is that you like, whether it be history or whatnot. I prefer that kind of content, and the way that you have expressed it, it was polite and civil. Then I do hear you, I heard you. That is why I've been creating the extra channel, and of course I will continue to post videos like that whenever I feel that that's something I want to talk about on this channel, that, as we said, has basically become my own personal journal of my mind. But as I say, massive thanks to all of you. Thank you to the people who moved on to Patreon and have been supporting me over there. Thank you for all the people who bought memberships for this channel. Your support is something that I never give for granted. And that's something that I do want to express and make sure that it is well known. Because even though sometimes when I respond to people, you notice I respond in kind. So when people in the comments are polite, I always respond politely and say, yeah, don't worry about it. No, I will post to my history channel. But in the meantime, if you don't want to wait, there is this other dedicated channel and whatnot. To the people that have been obnoxious, condescending, and really stepping a line that is the line of these weird parasocial relationships that sometimes people can make, whereby they truly believe that they have a say, or that they can control, or that they can shame the type of content you make in order to, as if the entire universe revolved around them, then yes, even though I have been quite strongly worded against these people, I do want to underline that I have nothing against you if you just politely share a preference in the type of content that you like to watch. And the reason why, and the reason I demonstrate this and flesh it out from words into actions, was by creating dedicated specialized channels, which I have shared with you today. So if you do appreciate the content here and you wish to continue to support me here, it means the world to me and I will always thank you. But at the same time, if it's just one of those days that you woke up in the morning and you're thinking, you know what, today I don't want to talk about politics, I don't want to look into drama, today I just want video games. Boom, you've got Metatron Protectorate. If you were into language mood, you've got Metatron's Academy. If you were into history, pure history, nothing else, you've got now Metatron History. And I hope that you'll be following me on all those different social media platforms. And thank you for your patience and support. Metatron as a channel has returned finally to freedom, and I've never felt better. I'll be honest with you. I've never felt better than and so I think that's important as well, because at the end of the day, this is YouTube, you meaning me in this case. And even though I think trying to make sure that our audiences, you guys, are the reason, you noble ones, that I can do this in the first place, I will always be grateful to you. And so trying to make sure that you produce content that people love is a very important aspect of content creation. But at the same time, I do want to feel free to say what matters to me. And if a day that doesn't coincide with what you like, well, do keep in mind that I post twice a day on this channel, so perhaps, and also that I post on all the other channels. So I still give the power to you to choose what you want to watch. But I would ask respectfully to please avoid trying to not only put me in a box, but tell me what I'm allowed to speak about. Because that one I don't appreciate. And I know that it doesn't come, like, I've seen all sorts of comments. I've seen people pointing the finger, grifter, how dare you, I didn't subscribe for this, get lost, loser. Yeah, you think I care about people like this? No. And in fact, the people that unsubscribed specifically because I spoke against the assassination of Charlie Kirk, well, those are the same people that laughed and celebrated it. And so I'm glad that they unsubscribed. Good, I've sanitized the channel. I just want decent people. Maybe just be educational rather than political, if you know what I mean. That was what I wanted to do. And of course, I always and always will care about you as a supporter of the channel, regardless of your personal politics, because I respect your freedom. With that being said, whatever politics you may have, as long as you're decent. And those people weren't decent. I've lost a few. I've lost, I think, a few thousand. But I've also gained a lot of people. So at the end of the day, I really don't care. But for those of you who have been sincere, honest, respectful, civil, and you've been asking me, but Metatron, I love your content right now, but I miss the history ones. When is the next history video are you still gonna post? The answer is yes, I will continue to post historical content on this channel. In fact, heck, we could even have, if that's the mood that I'm into, we could have a full week where I only do history. It could absolutely happen. But if you don't want to wait for that, or perhaps you see my 2 uploads for the day, you're like, oh, today is still politics, I like that one, but the second upload, I'm not into it. And you really wanted a historical one, Metatron History is available, and I made it specifically because I listen to the people that present constructive criticism in a genuine and, most importantly, civil manner. And that's the video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. If you appreciate my content so far and wish to help ensure my ability to continue to tell it how it is, regardless of any possible backlash, please support this channel on Patreon. Any support helps me and my team of academics keep the channel strong and gives us the means to fight back against the political rewriting of history. Stand with us. form the wall, defend the truth.